You're a photographer. I want to talk about how the fact that you've joined the Sony Alpha Collective,
Cool.
which is really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe before we even get going down that road, let's talk about how you got into photography and how this all happened for you.
Yeah, totally. Well, I've had a camera in my hands since I was like 8 years old.
Really?
I've been like a big camera nerd. I would like steal my mom and dad's like camcorder and record over like Christmas events and like all that stuff. But it was skateboarding and snowboarding. I would like document me and my friends doing all that. And that kind of transpired into me like getting into graphic design and film production and just making like different hype videos for like me and my friends. And then, yeah, just kind of skyrocketed from there.
So you knew at a young age, like, this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah, totally. I knew I wanted to do something media oriented, like something with a camera or graphic design or animation, something down that road was always like what I wanted to do.
When did you know that like this is what you wanted? Like, when did you make that transition from being, okay, this is fun to this is a career?
I think like when I first started getting paid for even like small gigs, I was like got hired for a wedding, and I was like, wait, you can actually make money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or like there's this summer camp that I worked at where we made like recap videos for like the kids to watch and things like that, and that was like getting paid. Even it was like $400 for like a week of work, you know. But it was like you can get paid to like make videos. It's like that's sick. Like I want to do that. So yeah, that's kind of when it started being like I can do a job here. Like this is a lifestyle. So
well, and you transitioned from that from weddings to like going on tour with Disco, Lord, Galantis. Like there's all these different bands that you. How did you get into that side of things?
So in college I started like a small media business with my roommate at the time, and we would like essentially pitch to promoters that we would come shoot the show, make a highlight video, and you could post it to Facebook and Instagram, or there wasn't even Instagram at that time, really just Facebook. And we would go shoot those shows, and I snuck my camera in the shows, and slowly but surely, like promoters found us and hired us, and then
they didn't try to kick you out for?
I got kicked out. The first time I snuck a camera in was a Mac Miller show, and I got fought to the front row, was taking photos with my camera, and then instantly got kicked out. They were like, "You got to get out of here." But yeah, that kind of just transpired into networking and meeting different people in the industry. And then I followed Panic's sound guy on Instagram, and luckily enough, he was from Portland, and we connected, and then he put my name in, and before I knew it, I was on tour.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
What was that like going on tour for the first time?
I made it seem like I had done it before, 100%, just to like kind of like get
the whole fake it till you make it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I was blown away. I was like. It was a whole new lifestyle, like learning how to get into the bus, like learning how to shower in the morning. Where do you shower? Where do you brush your teeth? Can I use this water? Can I use the bus? You know what I mean? It was more than just photography at that point. It was like learning an entire new lifestyle, which was like exciting, but also like terrifying at the same time. So
were there certain points where they're like, okay, you have to put the camera away right now?
Yeah, totally. Well, they kind of were like, all right, at first they were like, don't film this, don't film this, film this, and then they got to the point where they're like, all right, film everything. We trust you. Like, we'll cut down the footage later. We'll cut down the photos later. Like, we'll make sure that it looks like presentable. You know what I mean? They were like, don't be an idiot. Don't film it. It's kind of like judgment. You're like, I shouldn't film this right now.
Right.
Like, if there's a talk in the room going on, you're like, nah, maybe not right now.
Yeah, you get a feeling like, probably shouldn't be here right now. Yeah, probably shouldn't film that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, because I want to get to the Sony Alpha Collective. Let's talk about what you're using right now.
Okay,
all
cool.
This gear.
Awesome.
What was your first camera?
My first camera was a T3i, Canon T3i from like Costco. That was my first like digital camera that I used. And then from there, my collection kind of grew and grew and grew. Luckily, I got to be a part of the Sony Alpha Collective, which is a group of about 100 different creatives on like social networks and in the industry that use Sony gear exclusively and kind of promote that gear as much as possible. And so with me right now, I just brought my day bag just so I didn't want to bring all my stuff. But in here, I have my most beat up Sony camera I could find. And this is my Sony a7S II. And if you can see the like screen is completely just destroyed, falling apart. Yeah, it's like really falling apart. But I love this thing. All my video work is done with this camera. It can essentially see in the dark. Like it can see better than I can with my own eyes. And yeah, I love it. I have all different assortment of lenses on it. I just have a 50mm. It's a 50 nifty. It's like a really simple 50 lens just because it's small, light, and I can carry it around everywhere.
And you're still shooting video with this one?
Yeah, this is like all my video work is done with this camera, and then a lot of my photo work is done with the Sony AR3 or A7R3. And then
so this one, how long have you had this?
I probably had that camera for 3 years now,
Okay.
2.5, 3 years. And
so that's a long time for a professional.
It has seen its light of day, and it's still trucking. Like, it is still a tank. It has I've never had a single issue with it. The only issue I get is the sensor starts to get a little dirty every now and then, but cleaning that's pretty simple. But yeah, this thing is beat up. Like, this thing has seen everything.
Yeah, but it's seen action.
It's seen action. It's filmed a lot.
Story.
It's like, it's gotten beat up for sure. There's dust everywhere, but I kind of like, that adds to it. That's like your camera. That's
it's like Willie Nelson with his guitar that he's had for 50
exactly,
years.
Totally. This is your sidekick. Yeah,
3 years in camera life is the same as 50 years.
Totally.
In camera life.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you guys want to see these at all as well.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I also brought this is my medium format camera. So this is like an old school camera. So I shoot a lot of digital, and then I also shoot a lot of film as well. So this is my 7.2. And then this is just my day bag that I kind of bring like when I go on day trips or wherever.
Do you bring your camera around with you when
I have a camera on me like 24/7 for sure. So yeah, and then this is my Contax T2. So 35mm medium format and then digital, and I kind of have like those on me at all times, running around like an idiot, taking pictures of everything I see.
So what do you primarily use this one for?
So it depends. So on different tours, they ask for different things. I love shooting film. I like the look of it. I like you shoot it, you put it away, and you don't get to see what it is for a long time. So on tours with Lord and some other artists, specifically Lord, only wants film photos. So
really?
I would shoot only film. I would bring like hundreds of rolls of film of medium format, 35mm.
Only film?
Yeah, the whole tour. Even the shows, everything. Polaroid, like old school Polaroid, pull away Polaroids, like those are the only cameras I would bring, and we would only shoot film the whole time. And then other artists specifically want digital, like the quick turnaround, which makes sense. It's like there was a show tonight, like we need the photos, we need the video, like now. So,
yeah, you would think that's probably the more prevalent.
Totally, yeah. And now like this day and age, like definitely like the instant turnaround is what people are looking for. So that's where this thing comes in handy, because this is like the quickest turnaround I could possibly get. Like shoot, drop the footage, edit it, drop the photos, edit them, send them off. Like it's like So that's nice to have. But yeah.
And then you got your steady one there. So are you on tour right now, or how often?
So I am on a break till tomorrow. I've been home for about a week now, but I am currently on the Pray for the Wicked, Panic at the Disco tour cycle, and we go to Europe tomorrow for like the last leg of the tour cycle. So we're there for about 3 weeks, a bunch of shows in the UK, Germany, France, all over the place.
Man, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a cool. Yeah, I get spoiled rotten. They're like, usually when you're on tour, you're working so much you don't really get a chance to like go out and explore. But being the camera guy, they're always like, go make it look cool. Like go see stuff. Go see stuff. Go explore. Go take photos. Go document the experience, and then come back and you get to put together this like polished video or photos. And yeah, it's really,
a bunch
cool.
of B-roll, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's cool.
That is really cool.
It's exciting.
So you're on Panic at the Discos right now. Is this something that you want to continue doing? Is working with bands?
Yeah, definitely. I think working with bands and different artists is like the route that I'm heading right now. I also want to do some personal projects maybe down the road, some art galleries, that kind of thing. But for right now, I think I'm 25, so I think this is like a good age to be like, try to just like ride the wave right now and then figure it out later. So that's kind of how I've always lived.
Let's talk just a little bit more about the Sony Alpha Collective. So you said it's a group of like 100 plus photographers.
Yeah.
So how did you get into that, and what exactly does that do? I mean.
So essentially it's really like a social network of different people, different photographers across the world really. But I got into it by applying. I applied like 2 years ago, and about a year ago they called me and they're like, "Hey, we just saw your application." I was so confused when they called me, because I was like, "How did you guys?" And I was like, "Oh, I applied." Like I totally forgot I
year
applied. Later. And so they brought me on, and essentially they'll send you like little gift bags, goodie bags, new Sony gear that you get the in on it a little bit early than everyone else. They get to tell you some different cameras coming out, new lenses, and you kind of just help promote Sony. You back their products. Like this thing has been through everything, and it's continued to just like crush at everything I do. So, and then they've also come out. They've done like little documentary series on different artists that are in the collective as well. So they came out to a bunch of shows and shot some shows, and then put together like a mini doc of me running around with all my cameras. Cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's fun. It's an interesting world for sure.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I know you can look that up online, the Sony Alpha Collective.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can Sony Alpha Collective. They have the Alpha Collective, I think, is on it. You can just it's everywhere.
Yeah, if you just Google it, you'll find it, because I did it earlier today.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 final questions. One, is there any band you would want to tour with, like if you had a number one?
Dang, if I could, anytime, anywhere, if I could like document the Queen area,
Yeah.
that would have been kind of wild. Obviously, because the movie's out, but Panic also covers Bohemian Rhapsody, so it's like I've got to listen to that song over and over and over again for so
all
long.
the time.
That's like, yeah. So Queen probably. Yeah.
Where can people follow you?
You can follow me on